And we are live, everybody. Welcome back to Canon Shift, the live stream. It is Wednesday, March 11th, and we have a great episode in store for you guys. Starting with our final Invincible thoughts before season 4 drops next week. Debating a little bit more on Green Lanterns, or I'm sorry, Lanterns, the HBO series. Boo. But a very controversial trailer that dropped last week and some very controversial opinions coming out of it. We'll definitely be talking about it. And then the main event, ranking Daredevil Suits, our first tier list of 2026. So you know it's about to be great. We are your hosts, starting at the top, Spider Brando, Lou, and myself, Hero Scroll. Before we dive into it, gentlemen, how are you guys doing today?
Feeling dangerous, man. Feeling dangerous. Good week. Happy new comic book day to all y'all as well. March is good. April's great. Like, it's funny. I was listening to an old podcast of ours that was a year old, and we were talking about Invincible and Daredevil. It's just so funny to listen to. It's so funny to listen to back then. How things have changed.
Sure, for sure.
It's crazy. When you sent that earlier, I was like, damn, by this time last year, we were like freaking 3 episodes deep into Invincible and two into Daredevil already.
Yeah.
So I'm itching to get back there. But soon enough, we'll have them both back at the same time once again.
It's the fact that we were so deep into both too, where it was like episode 7 of Invincible and then episode 3, which were like we were finally getting into that crazy period that we were talking about up until then. So it's very fitting that like almost a year later to the exact date, we're just about to jump into it. I think that's the perfect segue to start with our final Invincible wants out of season 4. Lou, really quick, for those that don't remember, what were your thoughts on season 3? And where do you want it to go for season 4 based on everything that you've seen and maybe some of the stuff you've read as well?
Yeah, season 3 going into it, you didn't know exactly what they were going to adapt, but you had a pretty good idea. I think the thing of how it translated for an episodic animated TV show, it came out to be a lot slower than people were probably anticipating. In season 3, I think was more of a setup season. It's extremely important, right? If you were to go back and look and like, whoa, people didn't love Invincible season 3, like the show's dying, like that's not true. But it was like the calm before the storm in a lot of ways. Season 3 will age very well. It was extremely necessary. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. If you fast forward through stuff, I mean, I can understand that. The end is extremely important. The end is very, very important. But if you see discourse online, a lot of it centers around the animation, the quality. Season 3 was coming off of how much time it took to get, season 1 to 2. And there was a lot of expectation for Invincible season 3. And I think for a lot of people, it kind of stepped back a little bit, which I think opens the door for season 4 to feel really, really good. Because even from the first trailer and some additional, some people right now at the time of recording this, they've seen episode 1 and there's a lot of positive feedback that people have given. But even in reading, back to where I was and then catching up a little bit with kind of what's to come, I mean, I think it's really buckle up. Definitely watch it like from the start. I would not say like don't wait on this show because you maybe didn't love season 3. Watch it from episode 1. And I think Invincible fans are going to be pretty happy from what it sounds like. And wheels up, because I wouldn't be surprised, y'all, if at the end of this year, people pick Invincible as their show of the year. That's how much confidence I have in the show.
Have you caught up on are you past where the show is at now and you're reading?
In what is supposed to be in season 4?
Yeah.
Technically, no. There's a lot. Like, there's a good chunk in the compendium that I'm in. I went back and kind of read like halfway through season 3 to start. I passed that, and everyone you've seen in the trailer, I've read about. So there's some good stuff.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it. And it's funny because we always say this comparison of like manga and anime and stuff in Japan always comes out, and now with the internet, like people always know things that are happening beforehand. But I will say there are some characters that I've seen people talk about in the trailer that they're like WTF, and I'm like, I don't think you're ready. Like I don't think you're ready. Like I'm ready for the show to come out.
For sure. SB, how about you? What are some things you're looking forward to in season 4?
Good animation from that trailer because I'm so sold on how it was looking and just looks so much better than what season 3 and 2 have looked like the last couple years. And I'm excited to see Omni-Man and Mark again because we have been obviously away from them like, interacting with each other for quite some time. So that'll be very interesting to see and kind of how they go about this upcoming war. I'm very excited for all that. It seems like it's going to be very action packed, like throughout the entire episode list. So I'm excited for that, and I want to see Adam Eve, obviously, and more of her because she's one of my favorite characters from the show.
Yeah.
Battle Beast too. If Battle Beast, I forgot. Did we see his Battle Beast in any of the trailer? He was in the trailer, right? I don't
He
know
was
why
in
I'm
the
drawing a
trailer.
blank,
He
but
was in the trailer.
more Battle Beast. I'll always take more Battle Beast and seeing him do crazy crap. So it seems like a really good season. It seems like it's a really good season where a lot of roads are crossing again, and I'm excited. Very, very excited for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Also excited for the Discord watch parties. Can't forget about those. I will be definitely hosting Invincible season weekly episodes throughout the season. I think next week they're dropping like 3 at once, 2 at once at least. So that'll be a nice double feature. Join the Discord if you're not in there. And as well as Daredevil ones and the boys ones. So it'll be a lot of watch parties coming up. I'm excited for that.
Can I add Markham?
You can.
That's it. Just add Markham. Period.
Have more.
I'll be there for the Daredevil ones, 100%. 100%. His favorite show.
Round 2.
It's going to be the discourse around it is going to be incredibly interesting, I think, this season. But as far as like some of the things that I think are really going to shine are exactly the things you've said are the character moments and hopefully the step up in animation. I think that's clear as day what they want out of that. And maybe because despite us not enjoying season 3 as much, season 3 was still incredibly successful from what it seems like. And it does seem like, hey, they're gonna try to up it because I think they were greenlit for like what 2 more seasons after that,
4
like
and 5.
confirmed.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's a
apparently
big
they're working on season 5 while season 2 was coming out. Kirkman just said.
yeah. So that's a big thing if they're getting that budget increase more and more and more. So I think we'll see that. But as well as, for example, SB things you were saying about Mark and Omni Man, like because season 3 in certain ways, right, felt like a side quest to the big main overarching plot. It feels like it's been forever since we've seen those character moments that we've wanted. And it seems like they're going to give it back to us. They're really going to give it back to us. And they're going to make Mark, I think, continue on that hero journey that we want him to see him in, personally growing as a hero and as a person. and how he interacts with those moments are going to shape him and how he thinks, which is very interesting for the character, I think. Um, I'm excited to see all of that emotion
Yeah.
on top of the action, because it really, with what they did with Conquest and then the changes that they made with Conquest, it does feel like they're trying to say, "Hey, we hear you about trying to deliver on the things that you want, and we're gonna try to add some into that."
Yeah.
Which is the good thing about having the original creators part of the show.
Yeah, yeah. I'll be curious to see what they, because I've always loved what Kirkman's always said of like, you know, he wrote it in early 2000s, right? Invincible. And here we are in 2026 where they're writing this story and the creator is on this. And as we all know, how many times we make tweaks and edits to things, be like, this could be better. And now you have what, in my opinion, is like the holy grail of adaptation, which is animation. There are tons of OMG moments that are coming up. And I am now you get the sounds and the visuals. What else? Like, how much additional blood is there? How many teeth are going to be flying? Like, what do they do with that to kind of up the ante? That's what I'm really, really curious about. I am also curious about this of how they elevate side characters, like maybe the Guardians, like, because in this show, power creep is something that I think can be a potential factor to turn people off, whether you've read it or not. Like, power creep is always an issue, and I always think of Dragon Ball with this. And someone asked me that, they're like who is Mark? And I'm like, in a way, if you took, like, for my Dragon Ball fans, if you took Vegeta from the Saiyan saga and gave him like Gohan as a son, you kind of have that in a way,
Yeah.
where you're like, there's potential here. This guy's a G. We got to go fight Frieza.
It's like if Trunks was at the start of Dragon Ball, and
100%.
if the story focused more on Vegeta and Trunks
Yeah.
than Goku
Yeah.
and Gohan, which is such an apt thing. And it's so funny because, like, again, the Dragon Ball references I think have always low key kind of been there for Invincible.
Mhm.
So yeah, it just feels like they're moving on now from, like, potentially, like, after the Frieza saga, that lull where, like, they're introducing Trunks, and now we're getting full on into the android, which is then going to transition into the Cell saga. Like, we're getting that part of Invincible. Again, it's important to watch, and I think, honestly, I'll be honest, I don't think, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, speaking out of my butt, but I don't think any of us have rewatched season 3 since it came out, right? More than likely, it
No,
feels better.
I haven't even watched season 2 since it came out. I can't lie.
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say it more than likely feels better not having to wait for it week after week. It might be one of those, as you binge it, it feels better. So it's gonna age better.
I do have a story from a friend. I just remembered. He just got into Invincible, and he's had the luck of being able to binge it all at once. And his perspective on it is, like you're saying, it's going batshit crazy for season 4. And I'm like, you're lucky that you got to do that, 'cause waiting week after week after week was pain. It was worth it, but it was pain.
Can you
at the
ask
same
him
time.
if he's Team Cecil or Team Mark in season 3?
I will definitely do that. Do you want me to do it? I'll text him right now if you want me to.
Or just live. Let's call him.
Well, either way, but before we move on,
now, so I can hop in. No, I'm kidding.
there you go. Before we move on really quick into some Lanterns talk, last hype meter check. Where are we at out of 10 for Invincible season 4? At the time of
9.
recording.
9.
I'm gonna
9.
say 9 also.
This is like, it's like when I'm reading a comic and I'm like, what makes this a 5-star story? And you have the art. The story could be really, really strong, but I'm like, if it's missing that design element and those visual storytelling moments, I may dock it a little bit. Could be a 9 still, but the story carries and like it's really, really good show. But if they hit on the animation and really deliver on the action moments in this story, or in the show in the season. Telling y'all, I think this could be like one of the best fourth seasons of any animated show.
Sky's the limit with it, I think.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit big time. And I'm also gonna say 9. And main reason on top of everything that we've talked about, just the fact that like being more in the comic space again, seeing how they're doing all this month, Invincible something every week.
Yeah.
It's just really cool between like some Invincible reprints and then just some Invincible variants and like other comic books. I think is really cool and how they're crossing over these characters with other things. It's so nice to see that they're still putting care into the character so long after the story and even branching off in some spin-offs. I think like there's a current series going on called Capes, which is set in the Invincible universe. I don't think it has any Invincible characters sorry, I haven't read it, but from what I know, it's just set in the Invincible universe. But it's cool to see that this story clearly is still popular enough to do more with. And I think it's going to transition well into the show.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Did SB give his height meter?
He did. He
Yeah,
said
so it was 9.
Oh, I zoned out. I'm in. Carry on. I heard 9s across the board. All right. Listen, I'm ready. I'm ready for some Lanterns talk before we get into some Double D.
Yeah. Throw us the ball in that. What's going on with Lanterns, man?
What isn't going on with Lanterns? I'm trying so hard not to be like rage baited with this. But listen, long story short, y'all, DC was forced to put out an early Lanterns trailer. Show doesn't come out until August, right? After Supergirl, we get Lanterns. And no, not Green Lanterns. We get Lanterns. You see Hal Jordan. You get some John Stewart. You get no green. You get a ring with yellow. You get a suit with brown. You get a guy who flies away on a freaking wire and there is no glow. However, it's an interesting mystery. It feels like a true detective show, which they have said from the jump. And the internet right now, it's an interesting place because I'm just going to say it's from my POV, right? No one gave a crap about Lanterns. No one cares about Green Lanterns as much as you would hope people care about Green Lanterns. They just don't. They just don't. And if you believe they do, share your circle with us and we'll recite what we need to recite. If you know, you know. But you would have seen Lanterns become the hot thing that social media is talking about. Everyone's got an opinion on Lanterns. People are coming out of the woodwork and they're like, oh, what's going on? It's trending. Oh, I'll watch the trailer. Cool. I'll watch that show. Cool. I won't watch the show. You have a lot of people who are giving their opinion, but the big sticking point for me, and I'm curious what you guys think about this now that it's kind of settled a little bit. 3 things. 1, people are still calling Zack Snyder's Green Lanterns goated. 2, people are now going back and saying that Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern from 2011 is a goated movie. 3, people are saying, hey, chill. It was just a teaser. Not that big of a deal. You should still watch the show in the DCU. Those 3 things are still circulating. So, gentlemen, I ask you, how do you feel about those topics at this point now? So far away from the show.
And it hurts. I'll be honest, it hurts. Because you guys know it, and if you followed us for a little bit, I personally I've been saying, like, beside Daredevil, Lanterns is like 1B to what I'm most excited about this year. This trailer came out and I felt nothing. I didn't hate it and I didn't love it. I just felt nothing. And that made me sad because I wanted to feel something. Because even if it was bad, I could at least feel and express myself. But I felt nothing. I just watched it and I was like, whatever. I didn't care. I didn't care. And yet here we are a week later now. And I do care. But I care because people are now going back and saying these things that they've bashed for so long are now amazing. Like, don't get me wrong. Does Zack Snyder's Green Lantern look good? Yeah, he does. But let's also remember he's in it for like 5 seconds. And then seemingly from Zack Snyder's own like early cuts of movies was never going to touch him again. Like ever. So it was there just to cameo, okay? So let's not be like, oh, go. No.
But the storyboards.
But he had no Green Lantern. That's the thing. In those very same storyboards, there was no Green Lantern. All right, number 1. Number 2, Ryan Reynolds. And you guys know this because I've personally said it to you guys. I think Green Lantern doesn't look that bad. It's not a bad looking movie. The suit aside, the movie looks pretty good. Kilowog, the other aliens, and like the lantern constructs are actually pretty cool to watch. Plot wise, garbage. Absolute garbage. It's not a bad movie to look at. But to now then look back and be like, it's amazing. So good. No, it wasn't. It was not. This isn't the Amazing Spider-Man 2 where like there's actually good stuff. Like there's actually good stuff in the Amazing Spider-Man. No. I'm not
going to destroy it.
No, I like the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I've always enjoyed the movie more than other people. Is there issues with it? 100%.
Yes.
But I do enjoy it. And I think there's a lot that is underrated about it. But Green Lanterns, there's nothing underrated about it except looks. And the main thing that people are like wanting to attach to, maybe because of how bad, I won't say bad, the first look at the new Lantern's costume is now making them go back. Something that has been universally panned for years. No one has ever said a good thing about Green Lantern. Now people are like, we were too harsh on you. Ooh, no, we weren't. No, you weren't. Like, you guys properly hated it because of what it was, and that's okay. But like, Lantern shouldn't have changed that. What I will say, to cap this all off, do I still think you should watch the show? 100,000,000%. Do I think it's okay if you complain? 100,000,000%, because this is what they chose as a first look. And first impressions are everything, especially for a franchise for a franchise in a group of characters that has always been underwhelming to people, the general audience. And what makes it worse, what makes it 1,000,000,000% worse, isn't the suits, isn't the lack of a green aura, isn't the fact that Hal looks like he's on wires flying. It's the fact that the directors and James Gunn has come out and are actively saying that the things that make Green Lantern characters are stupid. You have James Gunn openly saying most of the Green Lantern stories take place on Earth. Okay, bud. Well, how many Lantern stories did you read? 3? And then you have the directors being like, Green Lanterns is just stupid, so we called it Lanterns. When you actively have your director saying that, it's a big a very big I'm sorry. Like, that's the thing that I can't forgive and just look past. Because that's what they're actively telling you to expect and to enjoy out of their product. And I can't get down with that.
You're getting down with the get down, SB?
The trailer didn't really do anything for me. I was never really too high on the show going into this year. Just because I don't have much knowledge or like background knowledge on the Lanterns. So it was kind of like I was excited to see the trailer to see what would like DC Lantern or Green Lanterns would look like. And I hate to say that it didn't really do anything for me from like a casual Lantern fan perspective. And seeing all the comments that Hero was just talking about, and stuff that you've been sending in Discord from like Pat, or like the showrunners have been saying for the past couple years, truly hasn't helped it at all either. And just like the only optimistic take I have is that it was a teaser, yes, and they say they gotta put them in a grounded way before they go intergalactic, which I could kind of see. It's just something we don't want to hear, knowing how intergalactic and how cool like the space aspect is of the Lantern Corps. So, my thoughts for this show are just all over the place. I'm excited for a potentially good quality like HBO type show, but I don't really care for Yellowstone True Detective type vibes. To be honest, I'm not really into those type of shows. So seeing lanterns like that also, or get that treatment, plus not really seeing any of the like classic like green or like rings power constructs or whatnot, knowing that we just had a really good portrayal of guys like constructs and greenness in Superman, it's a little disappointment. And I think a lot of the complaints that people have had are valid, but knowing how much engagement has brought this show compared to like 2 weeks ago, it's brought a lot of engagement to it, and a lot of people have checked out that trailer. It's gotten a lot of views within like the first 24 hours, comparable to some other top shows like The Penguin. It actually surpassed The Penguin in teasers and views and likes. And it's Peacemaker season 2, so you take that. That's kind of a good sign for the DC brand overall, but it just sucks that it has all this negative connotations with it now.
But I think that for as much as it is a positive, because I do agree eyes are on it, the thing in like why I really want to continue this conversation is when you look at this at a macro level of the DCU sucks. The feeling around the DCU sucked. And we said for a while now, and again, no one cared about lanterns. Like people care about lanterns now because it's content to make. Let's be real. It's content. You guys can talk about it. You can make it. You can look at clips of Ryan Reynolds' suit and be like, oh, that looks cool. CGI all day. And then you're like, but the new lanterns is in some dirty old jacket. Those are first impressions. This is this again. I challenge anyone. Tell me the last live action lanterns thing you've enjoyed. Can you? And for a lot of people, they're like, but Guy, he was like quarter baked. We accepted it because we haven't really gotten a lantern, and he did enough to be like, okay, cool, that's Guy. But Guy is like 4th, 5th, 6th on people's ranking of a lantern. Like, not everyone's a huge fan. I feel like Guy is more of a deeper cut, like a shallow, deep cut for people. If you're a fan of the lanterns, you obviously know Guy. But people are like, oh, that's James Gunn's friend who is put in a movie. Oh, he's a Green Lantern. Oh, he's kind of an a-hole. Oh, okay, cool. His contracts are flipping people off. Super James Gunn. Like, James Gunn, even James Gunned a Green Lantern for the most part. And you're like, okay, who are the lanterns? Who is a Green Lantern? These first 2 impressions of a modern audience for a live action Green Lantern were no good. They were no good. And when people are like, yeah, well, you should have known that this is what it was going to be. You should have known this is, that's fine. We do this. Like, we literally do this like every week. But again, first impression for people, and you have all of these articles now surfacing, these comments to your point here. Like, this is the first time people are hearing these things. It doesn't matter if it was 2023 or 2024. It's a first impression. And it just feeds the whole thing of like, why am I investing in this show, in these characters, in the DCU? Oh, maybe I did get invested, and then I go watch Superman, and I'm like, these do not feel like they're in the same universe at all whatsoever.
That's the problem. That's the biggest problem right there, is that to your point, they use Guy in Superman to try and establish Green Lanterns. And I think that's why they used him in there, right? Let's be completely honest, because they could have taken Guy's character and put any other DC hero, and I don't think the story would change a whole lot for it. You could have used anybody, especially for Guy's role. So cool. We have an idea of what Green Lanterns are supposed to be like, somewhat within DC or in the DCU, and then they go right on around and they tell you, forget about that. Don't pay attention to that. Lanterns are stupid and dumb. By the way, here comes this serious take on it. And I'm not saying that a serious take is bad for the Lanterns, but when you actively disrespect the entire Lantern lore for the sake of telling a serious story, that's when you lose me. Because I think you can tell a serious story and still respect that lore. You can tell that story. You can have a very small town true detective story. We talked about how it could potentially work like last year or something like that. But it doesn't feel like they're doing that. It feels like they're really trying to establish a level 0 for this again.
Yeah.
By crushing everything else that would establish the Lanterns.
And again, we can say all these things and over again and be like, we didn't love the teaser, which is fine. Again, I did not love the teaser. But in knowing what I know about the Lanterns, and even as a Lantern fan, I'm not the biggest Lantern fan. And I've been spending a lot more time with other Lanterns, but this didn't scratch the itch for me whatsoever for a superhero in the DCU. I don't really, if I'm being honest with you guys, even the premise of an old Hal Jordan who is at the end of his road, what the hell? Like, so we get no Hal? Cool. I love Jon Stewart. Great. I'm all for it. And then we have to wait for Kyle and these other characters. Oh, by the way, the DCU might not exist in 2 years. So again, what am I investing my time in for this? That's where I go back and forth. If you are someone who loves HBO shows, because I've seen this, I went through a hard search of like, who is reacting to this stuff? There are plenty of people who are like, oh, I love Yellowstone and True Detective. Like, if this is what superhero shows are, like, I'm in. And I'm like, oh, honey, no, no. You're watching a 1 of 1. I'm sorry that you'll be disappointed. Yeah. And my last thing with that, is it wild to make all these claims off of a trailer? I'm not just making off of a trailer. Go back, and we've been talking about this when no one else wanted to spend time. We talk about Lanterns in the past, and like people drop off the live like because they're like, oh, Lanterns gross.
Yuck.
They've told you guys it is there. It is accessible. If you think, why are you feeling this way off of a trailer? I implore you to take 5 minutes to Google search about Lanterns and watch 2 minutes of videos and tell me that what they showed you isn't in line with what they announced back in 2023 and have talked about since. And if you can tell me what comic runs they're basing this show off of and recommend something for me to read to kind of catch up on this to get a feel for it, please. I maybe will send you some. I don't know. I just doesn't feel good. Just doesn't feel good.
Either way, though, we'll be seeing after Supergirl. So Lanterns release is what, August, right?
Yep.
So August, obviously, we'll be talking about it more, and as more trailers and information drops on it, we'll be talking about it here on Canon Shift. So let us know what you think about Lanterns. Are you excited for it? Are you not? We want to hear what you think for sure. Gentlemen, is it time? Oh,
I think so.
Think so.
It's my drum roll.
But hold on. Oh, do we have the sound? Is that a sound in here?
We do.
With the bongos.
I was about to say the bongos. What was that? Yuck.
Fans.
I've never heard of bongo.
We got that though.
It's time. It's time. Guys, I stare at this way too much. The fact that I'm showing this on a live stream, it just makes me so happy.
It looks good, dude.
It looks amazing.
It's so good.
Shout out Hasbro.
It's so good. Screw the
Sponsor us,
Doom
please.
one though.
Yeah. Sponsor us.
But
please.
yeah,
No, it's great. Sponsor us. we'll gladly be shields for Hasbro. No, I'm just kidding. Either way, welcome to the Canon Shift tier list for Daredevil. Everybody, in case you
Felt like it needed one more. I'm sorry. It felt like it needed one more. I'm sorry.
No, it's good because if I was Daredevil, my senses would be
Ooh, all over the place.
be like, huh?
Yeah, just add the hair real quick. Yeah, just peep over my shoulder.
No, but welcome to the Daredevil Suit tier list. We are going to be tier list ranking 15 Daredevil suits for you guys today. Time to share our screen really quick.
I've realized I need more Daredevil stuff.
Dude,
I don't have a single.
Just
I
get the
only
new
have,
pops. Get the new pops for
We
I
season
only
2.
have one Daredevil Funko, and that's it.
We all need more Daredevil stuff.
All
All right. So
I don't even
this
have
is
a
our
shirt.
tier list. Right. We're going to be ranking 15 Daredevil suits. If you take a look at the bottom, these are all the ones we're going to be talking about. If you see one that you thought, man, I really wish they talked about X suit, comment it down below. And don't worry, we will definitely talk about it in a future video. So please, if you see your favorite version, or if you don't see your favorite version, better said, don't kill us. It'll be coming in another time. But our tier rankings go from bottom to top, starting off with D. The heck is this? This is the infamy. You don't want to be here. Not at all. This is your worst bottom tier suits, right? Then we go C, B, A, very self-explanatory. And then our top tier, the Cannon Breaker tiers. These are the tier. This is the tier where everybody was talked about this for years to come. And one that we constantly look back on thinking, wow, at this moment in time, when this was brought into canon, it broke everything. It was amazing.
I hear some shifts happened.
And that is why
Ooh.
it is top tier. So, gentlemen, without further ado, let's dive into it. Starting off, it's very fitting, right? That the first Daredevil suit that we talk about is his first appearance, the classic red and yellow suit, first seen in Daredevil #1. I leave the floor to you guys. Where should we put this one?
Logically, for this one, for who I know Daredevil is, it kind of doesn't make sense. The yellow sticks out like a sore thumb. However, the design, Bill Everett, you crushed it. You did a great job. Boxer inspired. If you know who Papa Murdoch is, you're gonna know why. Dude, this suit's nasty. This suit is so sick. The suit's so sick. The single D, the yellow with the red gloves and the boots, like it's just, and it's so fitting for the times too, especially in like that 60s era. Like that's this suit. I mean, I'd be so curious to see if people are like, this is peak before they knew the word peak back in that time, but it just, I'm not gonna lie. I'm giving this one a cannon breaker. I'm going hot right out the gate.
Not red hot, yellow streak hot.
Yellow streak, that mustard on that hot dog.
Perfect combination. And in all honesty, I really think this is what that is. It is that perfect combination. And you would think that a primarily yellow costume with red would look really goofy, but it doesn't, especially in the context of these like first couple issues of Daredevil. It really, really works. And I genuinely, like you, I would love to see a modern take on this costume, like a modern comic take, right? They did it for She-Hulk and people, it was very divisive, but they didn't really use this mustard yellow. It was a very
Yeah.
yellow, like almost like a pea gold yellow. It was odd. It was an off yellow. I would love to see this redone. Love to see this redone. But yeah, I agree. I think it's Cannon Breaker just for the fact of how different he looks. Like you look at him and you're like, oh, who's that guy?
It stands out. It stands out in the best way.
I like Cannon Breaker for it. I think it's really cool.
Do we need a sound for that?
Right. We need like a combo breaker, but for Cannon.
Okay. Stay tuned for the next tier list. Stay tuned for the next tier list. The people have spoken. We are the people.
We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Our first Cannon Breaker, and it's the first appearance on the first tier list, of 2026.
One of one.
What better way could we start off? I'll tell you what we can do that's better. Going into the next best thing, debuting 6 issues later, classic red Daredevil suit. Gentlemen, can we just go ahead and agree that this just needs to be next to the red and yellow?
The heck is that? No, I'm kidding. It's definitely Cannon Breaker. It's definitely breaking cannons. The suit is so good.
It's just so iconic, and you would think that a primarily red suit, especially next to Spider-Man, would somehow be overshadowed, and you would never think about this hero ever again. But you just look at Daredevil, and you're like, dude, he just looks cool.
Yeah.
Especially just like the fact that they drew him this way so early on and then allowed him to get in with that. But then I really think once Frank Miller like takes Daredevil to the next notch with everything that he did with the character, like this red suit becomes even more iconic somehow.
100%. It's one of those where I feel like it's a really good combination of everyone a part of the creative team and the visual storytelling in this, because for as much as the yellow and red sticks out and it makes sense for the origins of who he is, when you get this one and you get the full-on red, crimson, whatever you want to call it, they change the D, you get the interlocking double Ds, and he becomes more of like the devil of Hell's Kitchen at night. Because depending on where you draw him and who he's with, it's not always a solid full red. You have certain like shading and coloring on there to add like darker black elements so that it just looks so good as he ages through the decades with a full crimson red suit. It's undefeated, dude. I would even argue putting this above right off the bat in the first spot. CB1.
I agree.
Yeah, dude, this one. And the other thing too, we'll talk about this. This one feels good standalone to where it doesn't look like he's like armored up.
Yeah.
This one feels like, dude, my guy's taking like he has like a suit on. And he doesn't feel like a grounded character in this. Just with the lore and everything, with like he feels like he's more than when he has a suit. Cause like there's just something about an armored suit where I visually am like, you take a punch or a shot or something like that, and like your suit did it. When he's wearing this, I'm like, that's all man. All man, all day. Oh, I love that. I love that about this suit.
It's so good, and it's not stealthy at all. That's the thing. Like, it's not a stealthy suit. So when you like really take into consideration the fact that like, yeah, he's out here at Hell's Kitchen at night, but people are like actively seeing him coming, and it's just bad for you if you do. It's so good for his character.
They're I'm sorry, I would be terrified if I saw a dude with like devil horns on him in blood crimson red suit hopping from up above, and I'm like, oh shoot. I'm done.
I'd be scared.
Yeah.
100%.
It's over, dude. It's a super intimidating. It isn't, I agree with you. It's not stealthy, but it is super intimidating.
100%. 100%.
I feel like in certain lightings it could be very stealthy.
It's drawn that way in a lot of ways. Like even in this picture, like there's some darker elements with it, but my man standing under a streetlight, like I'm not gonna be like, who's this clown in a red suit? I'm like, Boy, start
He
the
ain't no
car and
clown.
let's go.
We need to leave now. For sure. I don't know if a lot of I was gonna say I don't know if a lot of people though were feeling that way with this next suit, right? The first official before don't worry, we'll get to some of the other technical first. But the first official live action adaptation of Daredevil with Ben Affleck's Daredevil suit. SB, I'm gonna throw over this one at you. I'm very curious to see what you think about this one.
I'm gonna say, the heck is this? I hate it. I don't like the old zip up turtleneck type thing. It just pisses me off,
It does,
and it just feels too skin tight and just not cool. I give it has a double D's though. Or does it?
It does. It does on
does,
on the left chest panel.
You know, I don't like it. The mask, I don't like how tight the mask looks on his face either.
It looks like someone took
it looks
a
like
vacuum seal.
suffocating. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it's just suffocating his head. It's too latexy.
But he said the bullseye. Do you bleed? Just kidding. Shut up, Affleck.
I have a fun fact. I've never seen the movie.
Don't worry,
So
you're
I
not
just-
missing
Okay,
anything.
bro.
No one's like, oh man, you haven't seen it?
I'll wait
You
until
haven't seen Elektra and Daredevil do their weird little dance in the park?
Dear DCU, this is what happens when you put out good trailers and good characters. No one goes back to the crappy character and says, this isn't so bad. No, this sucks. And leather sucks. It's cool for the time, sure, whatever. This sucks. This is, I don't even want, like, can we make a new thing like Under the Heck Is This and just put no?
I think we could one day. There has to be something so astronomically bad. But my thing is like I do look at it and there are aspects I like. If I look at it like in passing, I'm like, that's a pretty good suit. But then the more I look at it, the more I'm like, ew, yuck.
The reflection in the puddle in the mirror, and you look at it and you're like, oh, it's not bad.
Yeah. But then I get a closer look. Ooh. Like I just feel like as he's fighting Kingpin in this, it's just a bunch of leather squeaking because of how
The SpongeBob squeak, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
That's what I feel like this is in my mind. I don't like it at all.
Does your love of DD like make you want to like this somehow, some way?
Yes, it does.
That's obvious for me. And then I'm like, no.
And I look at it again and I'm like, I actually hate you.
No.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. Moving on. This next one was very popular in the 90s because of just comic storylines, but also the Spider-Man animated series. This is the main design that they used for Daredevil, and they recently brought this back in a comic like 2 years ago, I think it was. But it is his armored look, his black armored look. And I'm going to start this off. I actually kind of like it. I don't love it, but I actually really like what they are going for. They were, I feel like somebody took a look at Daredevil and they were like, hey, I like him. What if he was Batman? And it kind of works.
This is like, I want to like this one. And you can go through and research, which I did. I haven't read many stories with this. Variant covers of this suit are so money. And when people draw it and separate the front and the red and the panels, and you kind of add more muscular features to it, and you're like, man, that's a nice suit. And then you read and you're like, oh, it's just kind of one flat red, like upside down triangle thing. The suit's cool though, and the concept of it's really cool, and I like it. And I think in like more in motion and more in use, that's when I really enjoy it. I will give this one a solid B.
That's what I'm feeling. And I do have to say the animated series, I think, bumps it up a lot.
Yes.
I agree with B. I like the black and red color scheme, or just black and red color schemes overall are one of my favorites.
I thought I would hate like the shoulder patty part of it with the armor, but I don't know. It's just something about it that, like you were saying, in motion it looks good, and I think in other things, like I have a Marvel Legend in the Spider-Man corner back here that they made of that one because again, it's based off the show, and it really looks good. Like
You can pose him and he looks cool.
it just looks good. I don't know. This is one of those that like if they ever do this in like a live action, I wouldn't hate it. I think it would look pretty cool.
I'd be open to see it. It's a solid B. Solid B.
I think that's a good spot for it. It's a good spot. It can live there. It can live there. This next one though, gentlemen, King in Black, take you back to a few years ago. King in Black was going on. Everybody was involved in King in Black. Daredevil was as well. Daredevil got taken over. Nullified Daredevil. I kind of like this one. I can't lie.
Again, you want to talk about like intimidating, running the other direction type of thing. Like, there's some ugly
pants.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there's some ugly looking nullified characters in Marvel, and you're like, oh, okay, like they're probably gonna eat me. This one is like, I'm gonna phase through your soul.
He looks like the devil.
Dude,
he looks like the devil come to life. Yeah, I like it.
Dude, Mephisto's sitting there and he's like, oh, nah, like, don't take my job. Yeah. This one, I wouldn't put this as a canon breaker, but I would put it in the A tier.
SB thoughts as you rub that luscious beard?
I know, dude.
I was thinking. Dude, that would be nuts having a null on this shit.
Because you're a big fan of like the symbiote and like nullified takeover characters.
Yeah, I don't think it's canon breaker status, but I do really like it. It's also black and red, so it gets a lot of points for me from that. So I would put it in A also. I love I just love how
it's a canon breaker.
Scary he looks.
He wants to say it's canon breaker.
No, I don't.
He wants no. I think Hero wants to
put Hero.
I do just because of my null bias, but I won't. I think high A is good.
100%
I just
high.
like it because it feels like they said, what if we just took Daredevil and made him like super edgy, but we made it cool? Because like there's a world where super edgy Daredevil looks stupid.
It kind of reminds me of Batman Who Laughs.
Yeah, but like in a nice simple design where it's like you still look at it and you're like, that's Daredevil. Like you look at Batman Who Laughs, and in certain ways it doesn't feel like Batman. You know what I mean?
But that still gets a Daredevil vibe.
Yeah, this one does, especially with like the symbiote and the red. Like from far, like if you told someone that was the Double D's, you could probably convince someone it
was. Sounds like an A-tier suit to me.
Yeah, and then he gets close, and then he like rips your face off,
and then your head's gone.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, nice shoes. Yeah,
that's it. I like A-tier. All right, going into another live action, gents. I don't think you guys knew about these as I was doing research for this episode, so it was very funny to see your guys' reaction and Discord's reaction. Because by the way, Discord eats first. They found out about these suits before everybody else. And we put these suits out there. This is the 1980s potential live action Daredevil. It was supposed to come out with Lou Ferrigno. I think it was a TV movie. I don't think it came out because there's not a lot of pictures in for this. I just happened to find this one where he looks like a wannabe Spider-Man.
Bro, This is deck is this for sure. Put him at the front of the line. I don't know what. I mean, I get what they were trying to do. It doesn't work. The picture pose is terrible.
It's awful.
So bad.
He looks like BDSM man.
Can you imagine this guy's OF though?
It would go crazy.
He would go nuts. He would go
That's
nuts.
insane.
Like if I see him out in the middle of the night, I'm running because, not because
Dude,
I'm afraid,
honestly,
you
yeah,
know,
right?
because like bad things are gonna happen. I don't like this suit at all, and I don't know if it's the fact of like the pose, but like there's so little pictures on this, it just doesn't look good. And then
Yeah.
like it genuinely feels like he can't breathe out of his nose.
That's
Well,
my thing.
he's a
dude.
mouth breather for sure. He's there. He's out there fighting crime, and he's like,
100%. Which you know he had no action scenes in this because my guy would suffocate on set. Yeah, no. A couple other pictures I found of this one, I'm like, what are we doing
It's
here?
so bad.
But again, does it make sense for its time?
yeah.
Probably. Probably people are like, dude, did you see the new Daredevil? I mean, if that's what they called him at that time. I don't know. Those
right.
two next to each other, though, are just a match made in heaven.
I mean, and again, if you think about it, yeah, like around this time, like what Man Without Fear was coming out.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, this would be kind of like the Daredevil that people are familiar with.
It could do it. I mean, it makes sense. It doesn't age well at all whatsoever.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, let's move on. As he
Netflix show
lives in.
attempt at it was way better.
Yes.
What was?
The Netflix,
Netflix
show?
show, like Charlie's black suit that he had.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. And not too much further. But we're going far into the future though with this next one, specifically the year of 2099, as we take a look at Daredevil 2099. We're using the Marvel Rivals design specifically. I really like this. I have seen this MVP screen and stared at this character for well over 50 hours as I mained him in the season that he came out in. So I have a certain love and bias for this specific design, but I won't let the bias get too much of me. So I'm going to show my case of an A tier.
Oh.
Mhm.
No, I'll save my comments for an upcoming one. Yeah, I think you know what I'm going to say too.
I think so.
But this one's super cool. Like this to me, if this was a true 2099 suit, I'd be like, dude, Miguel who? Like legit. No, it's super cool. And I think it accomplishes everything it needs to. In game, this is even better for me. But just like a still photo, it's an A. You can argue Cannon Breaker, in my opinion. If there was a tier, listen, if there was a tier in between A and Cannon Breaker, I would put this and the nullified one in there. But I'll put it in A for now.
I'm cool with it being an A also. I really like it. I love the blue horns and just like the little blue touch to it to give it that futuristic vibe. What are the things? What are those called?
Like his Billy Clubs.
The billy clubs. Having those detailed and with blue and kind of like a futuristic vibe to it. It's really good. I love the little bit of the glowing D. It's a really, really good suit and looks so cool in game.
Yeah.
It just
So smooth.
they took the design of 2099, like that base, and just said, how can we go further with it? Because it does really feel like if you look at the original 2099 design, it feels very reserved. And they did enough to where it was like it just looks good. It doesn't feel over designed. It feels like it has enough to really make you feel like, oh yeah, this is cyberpunk Daredevil.
100%. And I think what to
Mm.
that point, what makes it really, really cool with that compared to the other 2099, which 2099 at that time, especially under Marvel Knights, like that was supposed to be cyberpunky, futuristic. Like this, adding those blue accents to it, making the DD white and having black in the body, like he feels much more like android like, that cyborg type of Daredevil.
Yeah. And I was gonna say the fact like the way they incorporate like the black and gray, almost like armor part of it into the design, but still having it be like primarily red. It does feel like, you know, some corporation is sending this android
100%.
ninja dude after you.
Dude, and it's
It's pretty
over for you.
yeah. It's great. Shout out to like still one of the I think it's technically like the longest MVP screen in Marvel Rivals still, but one of the coolest in my opinion.
Definitely one of the coolest. I was jealous of it every just
Sorry.
I had a game of my life and somehow I'm not MVP and go to eliminate somebody and who's there? The old Billy Club just doop 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 doop.
Still not nerfed, by the way. Still a great character to play. I need to play him again. I miss Rivals. Anyways, going up next, one from a comic that I won't say revitalized, but continued to improve upon the character for his origins. And that is Daredevil, the Man Without Fear. That original like street ninja costume style. I really like this a lot, and I think it is a great base. Like every time you think of like a hero and their like quote unquote homemade costumes, this is what this feels like, and this feels like the best of them, in my opinion. And it's not even like super. It's just him in a hoodie and some sweats and like a bandana on his face, but it works for Daredevil.
Nothing about that should work. Like I'm in all black. Like this shouldn't work. I think what makes this work really, really well is the design of like it feels street New York ninja back alley type of thing. The bandana is such a cool touch that I think makes it, him obviously being blind and like having it cover his face. Like there's no other world where another character who can see would be like, I have a black bandana. Like, is it just like around my head or like I do a full ski mask and we're basically in a suit at that point? But this like half face exposed with just like, yeah, that baggy shirt, those pants in kind of a way, the way that it was done here, this is a cannon breaker. This is a cannon breaker.
SB?
I'd put it in. I was gonna say A, but I think you convinced me to put in a cannon breaker.
What holds it back for you?
In a way, I don't know. I mean, it's just like all black, just like all black thing. So I think it's cool, but I don't think it's like groundbreaking, like cannon breaking type level design wise. But it's still really cool.
You're right, and here's why I'll say why though. And you mentioned something about Netflix and how they wanted to go after this adaptation, and I think that's why this does belong up there because it really
thinking about the Netflix one, I could see that being up there.
But not just that, this serving as an origin for him and being like, I'm about to go kick some butt tonight.
It is a very good homemade suit.
It's
It is a
great.
really, really good homemade suit.
Like it feels street vigilante to
It's
it.
intentional. When my man wears this, it's intentional. Somebody's
She's
getting
going
hurt.
down. Like I said, I think the whole background Lou gave convinced me.
All right.
Smart
Our
man.
official third
Smart man.
cannon breaker.
Smart man.
So far, great tier list. So far, we got a good mix. We got a great mix, and this next one, I'm actually really excited about. I'm curious to see what you guys think on this one. But we have King Daredevil, which is for those that don't know, part of Chip Zdarsky's run when he's with the Hand and with Elektra, or not the Hand.
Fist.
Sorry, the Fist. There we go.
Yeah.
Gents, somebody at Marvel played Mortal Kombat X and then Mortal Kombat 11, and they said Hooded Ninja Scorpion is cool, and like literally his best design ever. What if we do that to Daredevil? And I love it. I think he looks so cool. The hood, the baggy ninja pants outfit, the Daredevil logo, the beard, everything about it. For me, this is a cannon.
Bro, and then enhance it too, and you get some shots of like him with kind of like the vest on as well with it to like elevate it where it feels more of that like holistic ninja OG, like way back when type of period. Dude, anything that's like ninja related for Daredevil is just nasty. I love this though. I love this. I think the hood and the beard are very iconic with this as well. And I think it just again in a very similar like I'll talk about this probably similar to another suit that's coming up in a little bit. But again, just another icon. Very iconic. It's gonna pull you into the storyline, what he's doing, where he's been. Like it defines Cannon Breaker in a lot of ways.
The Funko for it is really cool too. I would put it in cannon breaking.
Yeah, it's just so
I love
good.
the one panel or the image I'm looking at with the hood that's kind of like in the front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, amazing! I love that.
And just the way they drew these in the throughout the whole series, how they drew him in this, it's so hard, man. Yeah, it goes so hard, and it's so cool. The long like wispy belt parts for it, like just the ninja aspects, how heavily they leaned into it. It's so good. It's so good. I every time I see this costume, I geek out. I just love it, and I wish it stuck around more. But man, it's so good.
Does this crush the Batman suit list?
I think it does so far.
I mean, I really like all of them, obviously, besides those boat ones at the bottom.
I was gonna say because I'm looking at these next few, and I'm like, all right, let's just move on. Hand of God, part of the same storyline. Much later on, it is basically his OG Daredevil suit, but like in all white with a modern take on it. And again, it shouldn't work. It shouldn't, but it does. And I love it. It's so good. Everything about Daredevil is so cool, but this whole run is amazing. Go read Chip Zdarsky's run.
Yeah.
If you haven't. But yeah, I love this suit. It's, in my opinion, another cannon.
SB. Look at him. Contemplating.
Well, because I feel like we can't have too many cannon breakers.
Listen, this one for me is an A. It is a high A for me. I really like it, but it's kind of what we were talking about before we started the live. There's certain ones as we get through this, like my A tier are these types of suits where they feel like one off, even though it's very similar to your point of like a modern take on the original Red. but those other ones in Cannon Breaker up top, like I feel like they're just a tier above. They're S tier, but they're like S plus tier, and then A is like S tier.
I would say definitely high A.
I would put this one in A, but again, it's still like when it shows up, like the fact that he's in, if you know why he's in this, it's disgusting.
We won't spoil it.
No.
We won't spoil it.
But it's you could shift A into Cannon Breaker and I'd be fine. I'm not. I don't think I've ever said that for any other tier that we've ever done.
No, this one is hard. This one was hard. When I was thinking about it, I was like, man, this is gonna be a top heavy list. But I don't care because it's our list. So, next up, another one that is very famous and about to make its live action debut, the Shadowland costume, or as many other people refer to it, the Hand of the Beast costume. It's where it's all black and it has the red double D's.
I'm gonna contradict myself.
Go ahead. Do it right now.
This is a Cannon Breaker though. This one's a Cannon Breaker. There's just something so nasty about this suit. This one for me is you would think like, oh, why don't you put the white one in there? Like, this one's just different. It feels different. And again, in story, it's even nastier, in my opinion. This one gets a times 10 multiplier because of the story. But dude, standalone, like modern art, I will tell my children's children about this suit.
What's funny about this one too, specifically, is that I think and we talked about it before we went on the live, but this is different from the back in black costume, where the back in black costume has red gloves and red boots and like some red wraparounds, like his little like bracelet things. And I just feel like it takes too much away from the suit. But then this, I don't know, man. It's just like the fact that it just feels like he just took some blood and wrote Daredevil on his chest. It just looks so good. And then again, like you said, if you know the storyline,
red eyes go crazy.
The red eyes are great.
Oh my god,
so good. But gents, just like next to each other, you have King Daredevil and then this suit next to it. Like, oh my, this is like dreams are made of for these. Dude, the Cannon Breaker tier is, I don't know if we'll ever have a better tier.
No, and I don't know if we'll ever have a better one because I'm about to add another one into it.
Ooh.
Marvel Rivals base design. I'm sorry, guys. This base is a 15 out of 10 for me. I love the way this character looks, not just in game, but just looking at him. Everything about him, from the Chinese/Japanese inspiration, because there's clearly some both tied into this. The way it is a modern take on his suit, but doesn't detract from it. You look at him and you're like, yeah, that's Daredevil. Times a million amplifier for the trailer alone. Full bias on this one. I love this suit, and I think shout out to the Rivals tier list that we did a while ago. Again, another base design that just shows you that like they knew what they were doing with this. Yeah. And they knew that like he was one of the most hyped up characters coming for them for a while, and they didn't disappoint.
If I say anything but Cannon Breaker, you'd call me a liar.
I would. Because we spent probably like an hour one day talking about why this is, and then at the end of it you were like, yeah, you're right. I remember I quote, I was dumb for thinking otherwise.
Dude, I got convinced so hard on this one, and I shouldn't even have needed to be convinced, because for me this one is a Cannon Breaker. I just like the subtle of like putting the armor, to your point of kind of like that Eastern, right, design language for this. What I really like about this suit in general, and I think what makes it work the most versus what we'll talk about next, I like the proportions of this suit and his build in it. If you made him any like skinnier, thinner, or larger, I don't think it works. This, he's just like a thick boy in a suit, and you're gonna get it. You get the bonus too as he like gets more power. And like, it's not a crimson. There's a little bit more of a maroon hint in this too, which I really, really like. Again, going back to the 2099, additional kind of color, just a little tweak here makes all the difference for me, and it's unique enough.
It's got some pink in it too, which is nice.
In reading it, it's too far away, but getting that Rivals cover with him and Angela on it, and just like seeing him in pages, not just in game, it translates so well to the book.
And the other thing I love about this is you completely understand his story just by looking at like certain pictures and certain models of this, where you're like, you look at this Daredevil and you're like, oh, you're further away from Hell's Kitchen, but there does feel something darker about this Daredevil. And then as he talks about him containing the beast inside of him, you see that purely off of costume. Just the way his horns glow, the way the double D's glow. Again, just a masterclass, in my opinion, of just telling a story in a design. An absolute masterclass.
It's the same stuff for King Daredevil for me for this.
SB final judgment, because I don't think you said.
Yeah, no.
Canon breaking.
Okay.
Yeah. Woo. Okay.
Yeah.
Going on to the latest, in a way, live action adaptation of Daredevil. We're going specifically though for Charlie Cox's Netflix era Daredevil suit. We didn't use Born Again. We were using the Netflix era with the much darker reds, the more black tones on the costume. Gentlemen, how do you feel about this one?
Go ahead, SB.
Throwing a cannon breaker. I love it. It's iconic for me as the one who started watching or getting into Daredevil with the Daredevil show. And Charlie just looks so good in that suit.
I don't disagree. Where's my boy here?
Again,
I love the textures on it too. It just looks so detailed.
Again, a modern take on a costume that just works. Like, you would think that changing this much about it without the brighter reds wouldn't work. And I think it was a dream come true when Born Again was like, all right, we're going to do that. We're going to give you that brighter red. And it still works. But you look at this and you're like, yeah, it feels like Daredevil. It feels like a real live action nitty gritty Daredevil. And it is near perfect to me. I think I like it better with the brighter red, but I still think like it's as close to perfection as can get.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. In the thing too that I like about this is it doesn't feel, well, we'll talk about one of the other ones, but this one feels more tactical, like kind of like the Batman, like Pattinson in a lot of ways, of just more of that. It makes sense for today's audience of why he has that suit. There's a story behind this suit. He grows into this suit and it became iconic, not because it's just, this one is interesting because, and you can say this for other ones, but especially for a live action suit, the story made this what it is and added to the overall lore of the history of Daredevil. So where when I look at it, I'm like, there's no technology. Like, this is a literal badass Kevlar suit that he's fighting New York's best criminals in. And he's not invulnerable in it either. he's gonna take damage for a while. Don't get me wrong, but like the mask can crack. He can be hurt. He can like, and I love that about this suit. Like, there's so much character that goes into this one, and it's synonymous with Charlie Cox too. So, yeah, this it is a cannon breaker. What a great definition of why cannon breaker is a tier. Just shout out again.
And I was gonna say it's the fact that like really this came out during a time where I think like comic book movies were the king, and the way they were designing suits were continuing to do that, where they were like, we'll pay homage to the classic, but we're definitely going to modernize it. And this continues that, but I think does it to a point where the other ones maybe come off as a lower effort in certain ways, or not a lower effort. Better said, it's easier to do those in better ways. Like, for example, Iron Man, Thor, Cap. Like, it was a lot easier to do these. But then you look at Daredevil and you're like, how are you going to make that work?
Yeah.
And then they did.
Yeah.
And they gave you this. It is now genuinely like one of the most iconic looks for Daredevil. I think that alone makes it for that.
With no D. I think if you would have told me a Daredevil suit and had like no visible D or double D on it, I'd be like, oh, is it really a Daredevil suit? And I look at this, I'm like, that's Daredevil. It's impressive.
So much so you have the clubs and the mask at home.
Yeah, I spend about 1% of my day staring at these every day.
As you should.
As you should. We all should, though, probably forget about this in the next one and allow it to live in the obscure subsection of the internet that I found this in. The 1970s live action Daredevil suit. Mind you, this was supposed to be like another TV movie that I think didn't also end up happening. Like David Bowie's sister was supposed to play Black Widow, which is the photo that we used for reference, because honestly, this is the only other photo I can find of it. I hate it. He looks like
a demon.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, yeah.
He looks like a dude pretending to be a demon, which is bad. Which sounds counterproductive to everything we've talked about with Daredevil. But like, for those that understand, like, he just looks like he's a wannabe.
Bro, just let the devil.
He looks so bad.
He got this from Spirit Halloween. Like, they walked in there. They walked in there and it literally said, like, it has the costume on the side and it says Devil Dare.
The Temu Daredevil? Like, legitimately though?
Real. You have Daredevil at home. This is what they made.
Dude, you ordered this from KK's House and Garden right off of AliExpress. That's what this is.
Yeah, and it took like 5 weeks to get to them.
100%. It was
so bad.
You got an extra large and it was a medium. Yeah, no.
I don't know if it's like the weird eye slits too.
I hate that. The eye slit's just so creepy. The way it cuts around his his chin and mouth just looks weird. Everything about it just the spikes, the horns go out way too far. Way too far.
I can't tell also if the mask, and maybe you guys look at the picture and you let me know, but it feels like the mask cuts off towards the middle of the head and then leaves like the back half exposed. It's what it looks like from the picture I'm looking at. I don't know. It could be just me, but it doesn't feel like the leather goes all the way around it. It genuinely feels like there's a cutoff in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Again, very hard to tell because there's not a whole lot of pictures in this costume.
I kind of see what you're picking up on. But to me, that kind of makes it look like... It looks like... stupid.
It does.
No, it looks
For real. It does.
it looks like he has a mask over a mask. Actually, no. You know what it actually looks? When I'm looking at this picture right now, it literally looks like his face is painted, and then the mask is just like the horns that goes up to here. His face looks painted, as
You're
in
right,
like
it
this
does.
whole square. It looks
It does.
so bad.
When
Like
was this show
his
supposed to come out?
face is literally painted.
Not a clue. The
Oh my
70s.
god.
It probably was paint. Like some like green screen, like painted. I don't know. Do we spend too much?
so
The heck is this?
I think it can comfortably
I feel like it
live
needs to
there.
be worse than that. I feel like it doesn't even deserve to be on the tier.
Just erase it from the tier list completely.
Honorable mention that didn't even fall into the heck is this category.
No, honorable mention. I think like if we were ever to like re-rank our the heck is this tiers, this would rank in like the worst of the worst.
Easily.
Like the worst of the worst.
Easily.
I just looking at this picture, even on like looking at your screen share, it just looks like his eyes are staring at my soul, and I hate it.
This is your
So
sleep
much.
paralysis demon.
Stop. I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
He's doing his job.
For real.
Peak.
Yeah. He'd even scare Morbius away for you. Or Moreland away for you.
Dude.
Honestly, I'll take that.
Yeah. He'd be in there and Moreland would be like, nah, I'm out. I don't want to mess with that. I'm not touching it.
I'll take it. Honestly, I'll take that.
Final suit.
Final suit. Gents, this was the most unique suit I found as I was doing research. I saw this in like a random poster. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen those like through the years posters where they have like just a bunch of different suits and they give a little blurb on it.
Yeah.
I found this suit in one of those. I had never heard about this suit before, but for those that don't know, this is the Daredevil Flying Blind suit. From what I could find, this was like a 4 to 5 part arc in a Daredevil book. And he uses this costume. Never heard of it. And I was just so intrigued by how it looks.
Interesting design. I listen, the premise of this character and why he's even wearing this and where he's being Daredevil is really interesting. I've never read the story, late 90s story, it's whatever. But just the fact that they tweak and move some certain things on his suit, I think the Billy Club placement is something that really bothers me with this suit, actually. It really, really bothers me with this. And there is an open slot on this tier maker list, and I think I want to put him in here. But when I think of the concept of this, it's not awful. It's kind of a cool take for experimenting on the character. I just hope we never get it again. I don't love it, but I don't think it's the heck as this.
I think it's C. It's got the black and red that I love, but it just looks. I don't like the belt being all up there. Well,
Blame Shield.
for story purposes, I get it.
Blame Shield.
I don't know. It just doesn't really do anything for me.
The funny thing is, I'll agree with you guys. It's a C. What makes it a C for me is the mask. Really?
Yeah, I don't like the
'Cause-
show's face.
Yeah, I almost just kind of wish if they're going with this design, take the top part off. Because I feel like if you're gonna do like Secret Agent Daredevil 1, you should probably cover his face. So you should just use the original Daredevil thing. But if you're not gonna do that, then take the weird skin tight skin cap off and just allow it to be Matt Murdock's head, and I feel like that alone would take it up because I really don't mind this suit. I think it's kind of cool, but like just looking at it with the face, I don't love it. Like the
Okay.
face really detracts from me.
If it was Batroc the Leaper in this suit, would you feel it's okay?
No, I would still. Do you mean like the face part or just the
Yeah.
suit in general?
Just the suit and the face, everything.
And that's the thing. I don't know. I probably would be.
And the thing is like funny about this is like I don't know the story, but from what I've seen, he gets his sight back temporarily and he doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, it's
It,
like it's such a weird story.
and for the time, like maybe this was shocking of like, whoa, he looks that way. But when I see the suit, I want him to go back and be Daredevil. Like I want him to go back and like, okay, let's get this done so you can look like Daredevil again.
But again, like Secret Agent Daredevil could work.
It could. I just feel like it's more shocking. Like I feel like this would be very jarring if you were a Daredevil fan and you saw this run come out of whatever 4 or 5 issues it was, and you're like, I don't like this. Like sometimes I feel like those stories, like that's the point of the story, is like you shouldn't like this. It makes you miss the old Daredevil. So when he comes back, you're like, yeah.
It low key feels like Daredevil, Bullseye cosplaying Daredevil.
Yeah.
I could see that.
I like that.
I could definitely see that.
Low key.
I like that.
I could see why it's a C.
And with that pun, this is the official canon shift Daredevil suit tier list. But we're not done. In case you haven't been with us before, we like individually ranking the tiers from like worst to best. So starting off with D, the heck is this? We have the 80s live action suit. Nothing but live action suits. The 80s, Ben Affleck, and then the 70s. Gentlemen, which is this order? Does it feel right? Is it wrong?
I put Affleck suit as the best of those three.
I agree.
I agree.
But I do think this is how.
I think that's a perfect order.
I like that.
I agree.
All right. On C tier, we have the Flying Blind suit on its own. In B tier, we have the armored look for Daredevil. And now we go up into what is probably going to be one of the most challenging following 2 tiers I've ever heard us talk about. So in A tier, we have the Marvel Rivals 2099 Daredevil. We have a nullified Daredevil. And we have the Hand of God Daredevil. Gentlemen, is this in the correct order? I see
I think so.
Ooh. I want to put the HOG in front of the nullified one, if I'm being honest with you. That's just me. That's just me. That's just me.
I kind of agree, to be honest. It just feels right. But I wouldn't hate if it's this way either.
I wouldn't either. If you guys lock that in, I wouldn't be opposed.
I think
again, this tier, you can interchange this tier for me, and I wouldn't argue.
100%. It just feels like day of the week.
Yeah.
What feels right.
Yeah.
This is a good list. So in this tier, officially, it is 2099, nullified, and HOG. Now, gentlemen, in the Canon Breaker tier, the best of the best, we have classic red suit Daredevil. Daredevil in his first appearance with the ketchup and the mustard, baby. Then we have another iconic comic appearance with the Man Without Fear. Then another iconic comic appearance with King Daredevil. And then another iconic comic appearance with the Shadowland Daredevil. And then one of the most recent new introductions of a Daredevil redesign with Marvel Rivals and his base design, and then the now iconic live action suit for Charlie Cox, the Netflix Daredevil. Gentlemen, I don't think this is in order, but I want to hear your guys' opinion on what needs to be moved.
I think one needs to be slotted above the other, and it actually, oof. I move Shadowland up, personally.
I would put Shadowland at 2 behind the classic one.
Ooh, that's aggressive.
I think the classic one stays. I think the classic one stays. No. Wait. Yeah. Not like the original one. The red one that's at 1 already. I'll keep that there.
Keep this there.
I would keep that there just because of
I'll be honest, gents. You don't hate me for what I'm about to suggest. Okay, but I really feel like the red and yellow, in comparison to the others, in comparison to what is in Canon Breaker tiers, it is towards the bottom. It is not bad. It is still amongst the best. But I think when it comes to these other ones, I am much more in love with the other ones.
I agree with that.
I'm questioning our friendship. I'm questioning my name. I'm just playing. But what? Last?
I think it's last.
Oh.
Okay, and this is what I'll say. And this is why I say it. Do you ever, in your mind, when you hear Devil, think Daredevil, red and yellow?
Yes. Dude, I think of this one. This is like Power Rangers Tommy. Like, do I want the White Ranger? Do I want the Green Ranger? Do I want the Black Dino Ranger? Like, I think of all of them, bro. Him as a Red Ranger. Like, this one doesn't escape. When I think of Daredevil, I do think of this one all the time.
Okay. Where would you put it then?
This is 2 for me. This is number 2.
2.
This is number 2. This is number 2. I would take this over every single other one except for the 6-issue later Daredevil suit. I think this one's so money. It's so bold. It's dumb in the best possible way, and it just works, dude. It just works.
It does work, and that's why it's up here.
But I think it's better than all the other ones. I love this one. That's just me personally. I love all of them, duh. But I would, the only other one I could argue with myself personally would be Shadowland. Those two are top. Those are 1, 2, 3 for me. For me.
SB.
Guys, it's so
it's tough because I'm not gonna lie. The more I'm looking at Cannon Breaker, I kind of have I might have a hot take that I've realized. I think I like the 2099 suit more than the rival suit.
Ooh. Hey, listen though. I mean, that's a fair thing. Tons of people did. Tons of people do. Tons of people do.
It's fair, but
But back to the yellow. I'll take the yellow at 2 for its iconic.
For 2, wow. Hey, is Charlie Cox last?
Is he last?
Yeah. Is he?
I would put it over the Rivals one. Just because I'm on the verge now of Rivals versus 2099 Rivals. What that's
When I woke up this morning and someone's like, "What's the most difficult thing you're gonna do all day?"
Talk about the Cannon Breaker tier for Daredevil. That's what I told my wife. Oh man, this is tough, man. This is a very tough tier.
Okay. Let's get the middle section then. Let's forget about the yellow. We'll place him. Forget about rivals. Let's do Shadowland, Man Without Fear, King, and Charlie. Let's get those in the right order.
In my opinion, for me,
I like that.
I would put rivals in front of King in Black. Just kidding. King in All Black. I would put rivals probably in front of Charlie Hooks or something. But I can get down with this.
I was gonna say I won't being subjective. If this was personal bias, the Rivals is probably 2 for me. But I can't deny Charlie Cox's Netflix has done more for Daredevil.
Yeah.
So I can't on that alone, I can't. Which for that, I would actually probably even do that.
I can't do that.
It's me.
That's like wiping your butt with your pinky. It's like it's never good. I mean, you can, but not.
I think I don't know. It's tough. I think I would put King back over Charlie's.
Can't go over Charlie. Okay, I'll do it. I was trying to argue the iconic thing. But
I agree with you. No, I agree with you. But when I look at it, I'm like, bro, who am I gonna like? If King shows up, if this is a multiversal Daredevil story, first off, all of them would be nasty. Well, not all of them. Sorry, Ben. But
I mean, Rivals is winning.
Rivals, okay. Here's how I see this in my head. If this was a multiversal canon breaker story, Marvel KO, you would have Red and Yellow team up, Shadowland and King would team up, and the rest of them would solo.
Yeah, that's probably what they would do. I love it. Shoot. I present this as the final one.
I'd lock it in.
I'm
Before I start getting more 2099.
Right. All right. Well, here's your official Canon Shift Daredevil tier list. Going from bottom to top, at the worst of the worst, we have the 70s live action suit that never made it to the light of day, thank God, along with the 80s suit that never made it to the light of day. One that did make it to the light of day, and oh dear God, is Ben Affleck in the 2000 Daredevil movie. Then we have Flying Blind in C tier, Armored Daredevil in B tier, in A tier. In the lower A tier, we have Hand of God, we have Nullified, and then the top of A tier with the Marvel Rivals 2099 design. And then Cannon Breaker Shift, the best of the best. We got Man Without Fear, Marvel Rivals based design, Netflix Charlie Cox, King Daredevil, Shadowland Daredevil, and then our top 2 gentlemen. I don't think we've ever had this where the classics win the design tier list, but it's a first for Canon Shift. At number 2, we have the iconic red and yellow suit, and then at the top, we have the absolutely classic and genuinely iconic all red Daredevil suit. It feels right. It just does. So here is your official tier list Everybody, let us know what you guys think. And if you want to see more tier lists like this, you know what you have to do. You have to subscribe to us here on the channel. Let us know which heroes you want to see, what suits you want us to decide on next, and we will definitely get to them. Gentlemen, we've litigated over the best Daredevil designs, and it feels right. It feels good.
Love that. Thank you, Daredevil.
Daredevil. All right. Well, that's the live stream. Everybody, thank you for joining us today. We genuinely appreciate every single one of you, whether you watch this live or you watch this later after the fact. One quick announcement: if you haven't, make sure you join Discord for various reasons. One, they eat first. Two, exclusive things going on over there, like watch parties with SB, especially this upcoming month with everything coming out. But also starting up the comic book club that we've been talking about. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you are on Discord, because that is for Discord only. So join us over there and you'll see all the details on that. Everybody, we have been Cannon Shift. Have a good night, and we will see you in the next live stream.